12 personnel halfback ISO. Pat Pete is in the boundary corner. The run key is a down block, so he has to step replace off the edge because he is the last line of defense, and anything outside is his responsibility, and he does his job for the tackle for loss. "12 personnel halfback ISO again. Pat Pete is the field corner this time around instead of the boundary. Gurley bounces outside, and Pat Pete comes up and makes a solid one-on-one tackle on Gurley. Gun 10 personnel bunch right open. 6-man cover 2 zone pressure combo coverage. Say that 3 times fast. Pat P has the flats until something threatens him vertical. Nothing threatens him vertical, so he latches on once it turns into a scramble drill. And Goff thought he had cooks, but Pat P does what he does best and comes in at the last second to reach for the INT. 11 personnel halfback ISO again. Pat Pete is the field corner. The run key blocks out, aka a base out block. So instead of him feeling outside, he feels it inside, if that makes sense. And he comes in and just makes a solid tackle on Brown. 11 personnel zone right with the entire offensive line down blocking to the left, kind of like misdirection to throw off the linebackers by giving them false keys. Pat Pete comes in with the cat blitz to cheat the crack block by Woods to get the tackle for loss. Gun 10 personnel, there's the route concept on the screen. It's a combo coverage at the top, cover 6 with Pat Pete locked down here in the boundary. Pat Pete squats and doesn't move a muscle, and he leverages his ass inside to make Burton run through him, and he breaks at the perfect time to break up the slant. Gun tight 11 personnel, power right. Pat Pete run key is the tight end who down blocks, so Baru he has to simply step, replace, and fill it. On the back view, you guys can see that he is reaching for the ball, attempting to create a turnover. It's the little things that Pat Pete does better than almost every corner in the NFL, and that's what makes him so good. Little things. 11 personnel, split divide zone. Kendrick B crack blocks, and Pat P has to fill and replace, and he just so happenedly was at the right place at the right time to get the fumble recovery. The only thing he did wrong, which I'm sure he shot himself in the foot, is he did not score and he got tackled by a quarterback, which is a cardinal sin for all DBs. 12 personnel zip motion. Patrick Peterson by Rue has to tighten his splits once the number 1 receiver goes in motion towards the line of scrimmage. Zone right is the play call. Patrick Peterson once again, the run key is a down block, so he has to fill it. And on the cutback by Murray, he makes a phenomenal tackle to get the tackle for loss. Gun 11 personnel, 5-man nickel pressure. Cover 1 is the coverage. There's the concept. Patrick Peterson backpedaled out to get width to see the route develop. Once he sees Sanders break on the out route, Patrick Peterson breaks downhill at a 45-degree angle on Sanders' upfield shoulders, young DBs. Once Sanders initially makes the double move, Patrick Peterson flips his hips, and now he just is in control, and he runs the route for him, and he makes a beautiful catch over the shoulder, and he gives us the toe tap. That's what I like to see. That's what every coach in the nation loves to see as a defensive back, and Patrick Peterson made it look beautiful. Twins 12 personnel zip motion zone left. Patrick Peterson shortened his splits once the number 1 receiver goes in motion. Now he's sitting over the top of Bebe. Bebe crack blocks, so Patrick Peterson by rule again has to step replace. Instead of waiting, he attacks the line of scrimmage and he gets into the actual for another tackle for loss. 22 personnel, 323 boot left, 2-man route concept. Cover 1 is the coverage. The deep drag by Kettles forces Swanger to leave the middle of the field since the linebackers got flustered in the play action, which then leaves Patrick Peterson to cover the corner post by Goodwin from the outside in, which is a pain in the ass as a defensive back. But Patrick Peterson doesn't panic, which is why he is the best cornerback in the game, and he doesn't get a penalty. This is what you like to see. 12 personnel, 223 slice fire, Robert cover 1. Patrick Peterson is in a smooth off-man outside leverage technique. He opens up his hips once he feels LaFell threaten his cushion. LSU versus LSU connection there. LaFell is a smart one, and that's why he's been in the NFL so long. Once he sees Patrick Peterson open his hips, he then breaks his 16-yard speed out. Patrick Peterson does a smooth baseball turn and attacks the ball downhill to get the PBU. 11 personnel zone right, cat blitz. Let me give y'all a quick lesson. The cat blitz is normally run from the boundary instead of the field, because if you was to do it from the field, the quarterback would see it and just automatically stop and throw for the quick completion in a bigger game. So the Cardinals had to do a lot to get Patrick Peterson involved this year because nobody really threw his way, and he does a good job of finishing the play in the backfield. 12 personnel, H up in the backfield. That's my guy Josh Reynolds. It's just an ISO. Patrick Peterson run key by the tight end is a down block, and he has to come in and step replace and fill it off the edge, and he does his job, nothing more, nothing less. And there you guys have it, another breakdown done by yours truly, Coach Norris, aka your coach's favorite coach, Patrick Peterson. Despite the recent mishaps, I still think that he is a force to be reckoned with and is the best in the game, hands down. He was only targeted 19.9% this whole season, so the Cards had to be creative and just try to get him in the game by just blitzing him more often in the run game to still make his presence known. If you need work done, get at me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and email me, and that is my personal number, 903-851-1598. Holla at me. Peace.